Hi everyone, I'm Nishant Verma, founder and franchise developer at Franchise to World, and welcome back to another episode of Franchise Forward podcast. Well, Franchise Forward is my way of providing insights, strategies, and success stories that inspire and guide the aspiring franchise owners through engagements with successful franchisees, franchisors, and all the industry experts out there. But today, oh my God, today is special because the first time ever we have international guests on my show. And honestly, I couldn't have asked for better lineup of guests and better lineup of speakers. Well, I'm talking about three incredible women from UK and the Northern Ireland. Leaders, entrepreneurs, and franchise owners who are making a massive impact in the STEAM education space through Bricks for Kids. They're also more like friends now with me. I'm looking forward to having a blast with them in my today's episode of Franchise Forward. So let's meet our guests. So before we dive into the franchise world with all of you, let's start with some intros. Barbara, Caroline, and Nicky, tell us about yourselves, where you are based, and how you first got into the franchise world. Barbara.
Oh, hello. Hi, Nishant. Thank you so much for having us come along onto your podcast. So I am based here in Northern Ireland, mainly Belfast, and I have just recently become the master franchisor
Mhm.
for Northern Ireland. So I'm part of Bricks for Kids now. Just turned 11 years. I took on the franchise when my children were younger, and I wanted flexibility, more flexibility in my life. I wanted to be able to set my own diary and organize my week around my family life.
Mhm.
So I sought out a franchise to do exactly that. Didn't want to work 9 to 5 anymore. So I just worked 9 to 12 at night now. So, but yes, that's what I was looking for, sort of a better work and home life balance, and that's what drew me to source a franchise.
Absolutely. Nikki, how about yourself?
Hi there. Well, I've been running Bricks for Kids in Essex as the owner for 9 years, and so just coming up to my ninth birthday now. So very pleased about that. I
Congratulations.
live near the sea, Southend-on-Sea in Essex, where there's the longest pleasure pier in the world. So fun fact from where I live. So I worked in London for 20 years and just really needed a career change. Just
Mhm.
felt that my children were fairly young, and like Barbara, wanted to look for something that was more in tune with the lifestyle that I wanted. So that's why I started looking. So yeah, that was the main reason, really.
Perfect. Over to you, Caroline.
Hello. Yes, so I've been running Bricks for Kids for nearly 10 years. And again, my children were both very, very young when I started. My son was 4 and massive Lego fan. I had a business before myself in a completely different industry. So I knew that I wanted to, post children, go back into being my own boss. But I didn't want to have to create everything from scratch again. So I was looking at franchise opportunities to have that kind of combination of the autonomy of running your own business, but with the support and content being available. So yeah, you didn't have to create everything from scratch. Just because of time, having 2 children, it wasn't possible. And yeah, so we go from strength to strength. I'm based in Kent, southeast of England, not far from Nicky, just close by. And we are operating in mainly Sevenoaks, Maidstone, Tunbridge Wells, Westmoreland locations.
Perfect. Quite similar stories. Barbara,
Mm.
over to you. What was your reaction when you heard about Bricks for Kids, when you were first exposed to Bricks for Kids?
Okay, so I had to go all the way to Florida to find out about Bricks for Kids,
Mhm.
which was part of the adventure, which was great. So we did a discovery day in Florida, and we got to learn all about the business. And we got to speak to other owners, and there was a lot of other potential new franchisees there as well. But I love the idea of using Lego with educational purposes, but as well as that, it not being limited to education. So it's such a varied revenues of income.
Correct.
Yeah. So having the scope of birthday parties and camps and working in with businesses, local councils and things like that, all really add to the value of what the franchise offers.
Hmm. So true. And that takes me to a follow-up question from you, Nikki. What made you think this is something I want to be part of?
Well, I really like the concept of learning through play. That was the sort of the main thing,
Hmm.
and focusing on STEAM was a major tick in the box for
Yeah.
me. When I was first looking at the franchise, I went and visited Caroline actually because she'd been running, and I just loved everything about it. It was just the engagement and the energy of the kids with with programs, and I just thought, yes, that's something I really want to be part of.
Yeah. Caroline, for someone thinking of buying Bricks for Kids franchise, what's something they should know before getting started?
I think it's important to know that obviously it will be your business, but you do have support. You do need to be a business person. You need to be able to be adaptable and flexible, and be able to
Hmm.
manage all the running of a business. So all the different elements, for example, planning, research, marketing, recruitment. We do everything initially until you get a
Hmm.
bigger team. Obviously, you have to cover off everything. You're given the tools
Hmm.
to start a business, obviously, and be successful, but you do need to commit and really research your area, find the right staff, find the right location. So that is on you to do that. But we've got lots of different markets, we've got lots of different programs, we've got lots of different things that can be done with the children, and then it's just up to you as an owner to figure out what works in your area.
Mm-hmm.
I think a very important point, Caroline, you made here, and exactly what I feel as a franchise developer myself when I speak to people. A lot of people would come to me and say, "Hey, Nishant, give me something, that runs by itself, and I really don't have to do anything." And my answer is, "Well, this is still in works." Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, for all those who are listening who may not be familiar with this Bricks for Kids, let's break it down. Caroline, to you again.
Yeah.
What exactly is Bricks for Kids, and what makes it different from other education franchisees out there?
Okay, so Bricks for Kids is all about developing innovators for tomorrow, getting our young children
Hmm.
being creative. We really focus on collaboration, creativity, critical thinking, building confidence in the children. We have, I touched on before, many different kinds of programs that cover lots of different age groups. And I think what makes Bricks for
Hmm.
Kids different is as a business, as a corporate head office, we've got a huge team who are developing content curriculum, really pushing advancements in tech, and are winning prizes. We have award-winning STEM accreditations and lots of kind of evidence to back up what we're doing is valuable. And it's fun, it's really good fun. So we've got the good combination of having a really solid, respectable, credible offer from an educational point of view. But then you've got the fun element of the hands-on learning as well. So I think that's what makes us different.
Hands-on learning. Okay, great. So, Barbara, STEAM education is booming worldwide. Okay. How do you think Bricks for Kids is shaping the future of learning with STEAM education or STEM education?
Yeah, well, hands-on learning is definitely key. Bricks for Kids are bringing hands-on learning into the classroom. What I love about Bricks for Kids is that, just like Caroline said, we have something for everybody,
Yep.
for all ages, all abilities. And we can go in with confidence to our head teachers or our STEM coordinators or after school providers, and we can say, we have what you need. And we can adapt that to suit the ability of the child, the age of the child, and as well as that, how long do we have to work with that child? Is it only 45 minutes or is it an hour and a half? Do you want us to be in the classroom for the full morning? Well, we can do that. We can make that provision because we've got so much. The content is so great that we can provide something for every level of learning. Right from Duplo bricks for our preschoolers to our 2D builds, our 3D builds, Lego Technic, and then we've got our robotics and the microbit. We've got so much. The program is so full that we can offer something to every school or every educational facility that is out there. So I think definitely Bricks for Kids is leading the way. Definitely.
Pretty interesting. And Nikki, what's the biggest impact you see on kids? I see both of them talking about, like Caroline said, hands-on. Barbara also said hands-on learning, and also about the vast programs. What's the biggest
Yeah.
impact you see on kids who go through Bricks for Kids programs?
Yeah, I think as Barbara and Caroline have touched on, that there are many benefits to our programs, but I think the most important, the biggest impact is that we're engaging with students at a very young age and getting them interested in engineering, how things work, really getting their brains thinking. And as I say, we're capturing them from an early age with, as Barbara said, from the Duplo or from our core programs. And I just think that's a major positive to what we do at Bricks for Kids.
I think as well, Nikki, I don't know about you, but whenever we are working with the kids nowadays, entertainment is at the touch of a button. It's
Absolutely
of a screen. And what I love that we're bringing to the party is something that is going to engage the concentration levels and the patience of a child that really isn't there anymore. So, I see a growth in the children from week 1 to week 6. Even if it's after school classes of a child squirming about and can't sit for 2 minutes, engaging in our Lego building, interacting with another child. So even the patience levels, sharing, collaboration, all of that, which I think with standard education is falling away. So we're actually providing assistance for the teacher, I feel, and for in the classroom, because if we're helping to develop those children's concentration levels, then that can only be a benefit in the classroom for all those teachers out there that are listening.
Filling the gaps, right?
And also with the parents, I think when the parents see how we run the programs and actually come in to see some of our clubs and actually it's in first hand how the children engage and how they are so focused on what they're doing, because it's something completely different to what they're used to, and it's just great. It is great to see.
Yeah, I was in a school yesterday actually, and the first thing the girl said to me when I arrived was, "Now they're live wires. These, and I was like, oh, okay, but how we set it out, you've got your stations and the kids can go to different stations, and by the end of it she was blown over by just how well they were able to sit and concentrate, how much they engaged and how much they enjoyed it, and it was a breeze for the 2 hours. Now it was really good fun.
All right, thank you for all those insights, ladies. Let's move to the next segment, a day in life of running a franchise or a Bricks for Kids franchise. Barbara, to you. Let's get real.
Okay. Yes, I was thinking about this. We actually didn't put any notes down for this one because I thought, well, that'll just roll. First thing that's really key is strong coffee. First thing, gotta have your coffee. Well, what I really love about my job, I have to say now, I'm going to go back to what I was looking for when I was searching out for a franchise. Is you're not 9 to 5. It is so not a 9 to 5 job, and you could be talking to a headmaster or headmistress one minute, and a parent the next minute, and then engaging with the student later on that day. It's so diverse. No 2 days are the same, and that's what I love about this business. I absolutely love it. I love engaging with my staff and the instructors. I love seeing them grow. I love the rewarding parts that if you're at a SEN club or a SEN school, and you can just see the joy on the children's faces when they're engaging in our activities, is just lovely. So a typical day is just very, very different from yesterday and very different from what tomorrow will be, but it's really enjoyable.
Awesome. And Nicky, what's the most rewarding part of your day?
Well, as Barbara said, we've got many elements to our days. So, and there's quite a lot of it. It's pretty good and rewarding. I just love it when I go into the clubs, and because I'm still fairly hands-on with my clubs and running them as well, and seeing the children develop and really grow through being in one of our clubs, and seeing them improve through the weeks, and seeing how proud they are of what they've created. And I just absolutely love it. It just makes you feel so brilliant and rewarded when you can actually see their development and how they've been working through the different elements. It's amazing. So that's really the most rewarding part of my day. And but there are loads of different things, as Barbara said, because it's no 2 days are the same basically. So you get your teeth into lots of different things throughout the day.
Lovely. And Caroline, you are international. I mean, all of you guys are. And for that matter, this is my first international recording. So, Bricks for Kids team is based out of US and Dubai. How does the support from Bricks for Kids help you run your daily, your routine smoothly, think smoothly?
Okay, so yes, the head office is in the States, but we've got very strong, open, clear communications with all the directors of the business. They're always very good with newsletters and online calls where everybody comes together. Often there could be 40, 50 different owners worldwide all on a video call, which is pretty cool because you feel like you're still involved even though physically you're not close by. Everyone's open to ideas, your voice is heard. Last year, I was on a panel at the Bricks for Kids conference in the States, sharing ideas and experience as well. So that was really cool. The Dubai guys are really quick to come back with support. If you've got any kind of technical or support issues, they're really on it. And I think because obviously the time zones are different, we get kind of support from both sides of the day and time frames. So I think as owners, I feel like we've got the most support that we've probably ever had from the corporate team, which is great as a 10-year-old franchisee. So really, really good. Would definitely say that we have that.
All right, wonderful. So the next segment, a very interesting one: parents, kids, and a real impact of Bricks for Kids. Now let's talk about the real heroes here, the parents and the kids in our case. Caroline, what feedback do you get from parents? How has Bricks for Kids helped children in building their confidence, learning, creativity? So feedback that the parents give you.
I mean, our parents really love our programs. They can see that, their kids are developing and improving. And we often get direct feedback, especially if we have children that might be sort of have slower speech or maybe SEN needs or just really shy and not really, out there in other club environments. They might come into us feeling a little bit not sure, but then very quickly, through working with other kids and using Lego, which of course they all love. Very, very quickly they become more confident and chatty and excitable, and then they would go home and like be buzzing when the mums are picking them up at the gates and say, oh, I built this, and oh my god, this is great. And then the parents will then message and sort of say thank you so much because they've really come out of this shell. And then other things such as, you know, we're encouraging the kids to go back and be creative at home. So often, you know, kids might be on their gaming or their iPads or whatever, and they might find that they're going home digging out their Lego that they've not used for quite a while, building new things or developing on the things that we've done in the classroom. And then the parents would send pictures and videos to us as owners. I know it happens with the other guys as well. And that's really lovely. That's really rewarding. And you think like that's a direct impact of, you know, our programs benefiting the children.
Yeah. And Barbara, any memorable stories from students or parents that stuck with you?
We get a lot of children on the spectrum coming to our clubs. And one memorable occasion was a young man, Alfie, who became a real Bricks for Kids champion. But the first week that Alfie came along to our club, he hid under the table and didn't want to engage with anybody. By week 6, his mum came to collect him early one day without realising, and she was in the hall and could see his interaction with all of the children. And he was actually at that point singing along.
Oh,
Got a bit emotional there. And she ended up crying in the hall because he had never, ever done that before. So that 6-week course changed his social interactions and his confidence with other children so much that that was the outcome of it. And so that's definitely memorable for me.
yeah, that's so touching. And you know, Nikki, to you, how does STEM education prepare kids for the future? We've been hearing about how touching moment Barbara experienced. Do you have anything similar to share?
Yeah, I mean, I think STEAM is just so important, and it gives kids so many skills to succeed in life. Our programs do, because of their very nature, send kids, and I think it's great for them, for preparing them for what they might be doing in the future. It's not just about engineerings and the mechanics, it's also about communication and team building friendships, working together, which are all major life skills as well. So I think you know, the types of children that we have, all different types of children we do have in our programs, but I think that we can offer within our program so many different skills for them to be able to prepare them for moving on in life into the future. It's a great base, if you like, I think.
Yeah, and I want to also discuss and you know share with the viewers, with my viewers here, the STEM education market in the UK and also, of course, the Northern Ireland is experiencing significant growth, driven by increasing demand for STEM skills in the workforce, government initiatives to promote STEM education. The data from various sectors indicate a robust and expanding market with substantial investment and policy support from of course the policymakers. Uh, Barbara, with that, you know, a follow up comes here to you. STEM education market is growing very fast, you know, globally, and of course competition is also there everywhere. How do you think Bricks for Kids or you stand out in front of the competition?
Well, I think that goes back to a question I answered earlier, in that our content is so varied. So our programs are suitable for all ages and all abilities and can be tailored to suit the needs of the customer. So the educational element is there. We have teacher resources. We have PowerPoint presentations, we have handouts, take-home sheets. So we have the content there and the programs there to be able to offer more than just hands-on engagement with Lego bricks. It's backed up by our programs and our content, which of course was created by architects and engineers. So problem solving, all of those things. Our competitors can come up with different programs, but it's not going to be a touch on Bricks for Kids. With over, I think Caroline and I had a wee thing at the show last week about how many programs, how many modules we have. I thought it was 400, but seemingly it's closer to the 500.
I thought it was five, yeah.
So yeah, 500 model plans that we can go. So we have something to offer a child right from junior school right through to senior school, a wealth of content. So I think that's where we're leading. And that's why we're the market leaders. Yeah.
Well, I think this is really turning out to be informative. I'm sure viewers out there who are going to watch this and listen to what you guys have to share are really going to thank you guys for the tons of information that you are sharing with us. Thank you so much for that. Nicky, where do you see this industry heading in the next 10 years? STEM education, where do you see it heading next 10 years?
Okay, well, I think STEM education is always going to develop, and it's just the nature of what it is.
Yeah.
I think that there'll be lots of more development in the tech sector, in AI. Bricks for Kids, always looking at new avenues, new opportunities, and just seeing what's out there in the market, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
However, I do still think, though, that Lego for Bricks for Kids is a massive part of STEM education, and I think it's here to stay for Bricks for Kids. It's our core business, and it's a proven educational tool. So I'm hoping that within the next 10 years, it continues. It's been going for many years, and I think it will continue in the future as well as being as I say, a fantastic educational tool. So hopefully it's here to stay anyway.
Yes. Caroline, do you think AI will play a bigger role in STEM education in the future?
So I actually had a preview of this question, and I popped it into ChatGPT to see what they said. And it's interesting response. And the first line basically that came up was absolutely AI is already making waves in STEAM education, and it's only going to get bigger. And it breaks it down into different examples, one of being personalized learning. ChatGPT said that AI can adapt to suit different learning styles and paces. Imagine a student struggling with maths, for example, and getting real-time tailored hints on from an AI tutor. Whilst that all sounds brilliant, what we do with our kids will still be valuable for sure, because nothing beats a real face-to-face teacher showing a child, hands-on, experimental, pick up the build, look at the build, how are we making it? There's still going to be that benefit to what we do as teachers with the children. So as much as it's valuable for research, definitely, and creative tool for planning and things like that to help the programs, AI will definitely not take over. From a teaching point of view, hands-on, face-to-face, we create the creative, collaborative environment which can't be automated.
Yeah.
Nothing can replace hands-on learning. Nothing can replace. Absolutely. All right. So, next segment. Your advice to someone who's starting Bricks for Kids. Someone joins Bricks for Kids, let's say in the UK or Northern Ireland. Can each one of you, based on your experience, advise or share how should they begin? What should be the typical first 90 days or first 3 months look like for anyone who joins Bricks for Kids in the UK or Northern Ireland? Nicky, let's start with you.
Okay, so well, there are many things to look at, but it's really about doing your research. I think first of all in your area, finding out first of all what the competition is in your area. It might not necessarily be a STEM club, but there are lots of different after school clubs out there. So looking at the right sort of schools, making sure you're getting the right contacts in the schools. Maybe looking at where your core business should be, where your focus should be. We've got, we have many programs, so I mean, you're not going to be able to do all of them at once. So set out your plan as to what you're going to run first, or 2 or 3 things that you're going to start with first. But it's, you need to. I feel personally, you need to get in there and actually run the programs yourself at first, even if you decide to take a management role and a back step. So you need to sort of decide what your role is. And I mean, I suppose that would be the start. I don't know if you guys have got any other following on from your initial setup.
I would just add, use your existing network. Friends, family. When we started, our children were of an age where a lot of the customers' children were at the same age. So, a natural network, get the word out there. When you've got to fight for your schools, but once you're in your schools, it's not a hard sell. When we started, we had to start from scratch. Whereas now we're established, so the brand is more established, and we can help potential new owners with tools and methods as to how to get the schools. Once you're in the schools, use the schools for advertising. They can send out flyers. You're hitting thousands of children, in a much quicker way, cheaply as well, obviously, usually free, to advertise your camps. And then I would just say, plan out your calendar year and then work out what holidays you want to operate in half-term wise, camps and classes, and just max out as much as you can with your own equipment. And then once you're at a maximum, then reinvest quickly, get the staff, and just try and grow because the demand is there for sure.
Definitely.
That's right.
I love it. I love the community factor when you said we are there to support. Barbara, what's your take on this?
Yes, no, I would agree with everything the 2 girls have said. Don't think I would have much to add to that. I think that you need to, as Nicky said, niche down a little bit at the start. So look at your kit. What have you got in your starter kit? How can you utilize that to the best of your ability and get the most return from it? And as Caroline said, once you start establishing yourself into schools, then you can start thinking about using that revenue to reinvest and buy more equipment, bring on more staff, and then the business will naturally come to you. The other thing is that you've already got your kit there initially, so realistically it's just your time. So don't be afraid to offer free trials in schools to get into the schools. Go in and set up and give a free trial. The schools love that. And if you're doing a good job and you impress that school, well, do you know what? Teachers talk and schools talk. And I find that a lot of our business is referrals. So it will naturally grow based on, once you're into 1 or 2 schools, it'll just flow.
Okay, pretty cool piece of advice from all of you. With that, now the fun part. Let's get into a rapid fire round with all of you. You have to answer the first thing that comes to your mind. I'm going to call out names and I'll say, hey, this question goes to you. And you have to just reply quickly. All right, your time starts now. Barbara, what's your favorite part of running a Bricks for Kids franchise?
The fact that it's so diverse, something different and something new every day.
Caroline, same question to you. What's your favorite part of running a Bricks for Kids franchise?
I love the way the kids' faces light up when they motorise the models for the first time and they see the Lego move.
Nicky, if you could bring one famous entrepreneur to visit Bricks for Kids, who would it be?
Well, I'd like it to be a female STEM entrepreneur. I've got a couple of names which I can't pronounce, but definitely someone in STEM, that's for sure.
Pretty cool. Barbara, back to you. Biggest misconception about owning a franchise, any franchise?
That it's easy and it's not hard work. It is hard work, but it's very rewarding. Very rewarding.
Great. Caroline, back to you again. What's next for you and your franchise, Bricks for Kids?
I'm about to renew for another 10 years, which is super exciting. And so, it's really encouraging. Looking to open a creativity centre, hopefully, fingers crossed. So I'm doing some research on that, which is a place where the children and the schools can come, and it'll be a big Lego themed environment, which is going to be awesome. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
Very good. Congratulations. Nicky, what's your favorite book?
That's quite a difficult one. I'm just about to read 1984. That's a bit of a classic.
Yeah.
So probably a heavy read, but yeah. So that's a current one rather than a favourite one that I've read before.
Okay.
Haven't got anything specific. Don't know.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So we are done with the rapid fire and we are to the last segment where we call it your final advice. So before we wrap up, if someone is listening, is thinking about investing in a Bricks for Kids franchise, or I would say any franchise for that matter, what would that one piece of advice from all of you guys will be? I repeat, someone who's planning to invest in a franchise. It could be any franchise or let's say a Bricks for Kids. Any one of you can start. Nikki, maybe you.
So I've just put here, just be prepared to step out of your comfort zone. Everyone likes doing the nice bits that they prefer, but everyone's got to do the other bits, otherwise it doesn't get done. If you're a business owner, you kind of have to be handling everything, and then it's rewarding, and then you can really focus on the bits that you do enjoy. But just reach out to people, reach out to owners. There's support's there. Everyone's really friendly and lovely, and you've got a real solid support network. So don't be scared. If you like Lego, working with kids, go for it.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nikki, back to you.
Oh, right. Okay, back to me. I think it was a pretty daunting thing for me when I first went or when I was first looking for a franchise to take on. And also just to do it by myself as well. That was quite a big thing and quite a big decision. Obviously a massive career change, so it can be quite daunting. So I think as Caroline said, you do just have to go for it sometimes and put your faith in yourself. It's really this having Bricks for Kids as a business has really helped me grow as a person. I've made some great friends with these guys, and I love Lego and I love what we're doing. So I think if you really have a connection with the company that you're looking at, then I think that's a really good first start. So, and then as Caroline said, you just got to go for it.
Absolutely. Barbara.
Well, I would just say that loving Lego doesn't run your business, so you have to have a plan. So make sure that the figures stack up, and make sure you know what you're going to do, and hit the ground running. So definitely have a plan together. And as Nikki said earlier, done your research into your area, know your market, and what works in one market doesn't work in another. So you have to have your backup plans, and you also have to be resilient, because you'll not always get a yes. So you have to be okay when you get a wee rejection, and you have to keep on going. So yeah, I would just say have a plan, be resilient, and be ready for it.
Awesome. I can't ask for more. I think pretty cool piece of advice from all three of you. I really thank you for taking out time. I know it's evening, it's late in the evening, dinner time for all of you, lunchtime for me, for that matter. But we are all together recording this one. So it's great. Thank you so much, guys. Wow, what an insightful episode. If today's conversation sparked your interest in Bricks for Kids, or if you're curious about STEAM education and franchising, make sure to follow me and drop a message. If you found value in today's episode, hit that subscribe button, drop a review, and share with me or share this with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, as I always say, keep learning, keep building, and keep moving forward your franchise ownership dreams. See you.